another day at Ewetopia Farms. Here's the showgirls having breakfast. They are in self-sorted mode. 3 Dorsets, 3 Suffolks. They do it every time. Hi little lammy, how you doing today? Oh, she's having a pee. That's a good sign. The rams going to the barn. We took all the show rams out now. Now the problem is going to be trying to get them over to the barn. I took out one substitute Suffolk because I thought he was really good. Me and Arnie may not agree on that one, but I do. So the competition is on. Are you going to try go that sideway? Back there. Today's video is basically going to be our attempt at trying to train the show lambs. Here they're coming in the barn now. Come on, you guys. I unplugged that just in case they got tangled.
You might want to put your feet back up.
So right now we're in with the showgirls. We're gonna trim their hooves. That's step 1 in getting them ready for a show.
2 perfect teeth.
Luckily Jacob trimmed them already, so I don't have to do trimming. The only I'll tidy them up maybe a little bit on their legs and stuff, and their heads, but otherwise their bodies I'm going to leave alone. The only ram that I have to trim up a lot is Cocaine, our little Dorset ram, because the shearer didn't do him because he was too young. We didn't do that young group. So feet first, because walking is everything at the show and in real life too. You always want your sheep to have good feet and hoofs. I'm just videotaping that final hoof. There we go. So he's just set the halter on her. She's still upside down. And now I'm going to hold her while she does the other one, so I won't be filming this part. Okay. Halter training doesn't look very nice because basically you put the halter on them and you tie them to a post or something where they can't move at all. They can't struggle to hurt themselves. And they'll fight with the halter thinking they can escape, but they'll learn that they can't escape the halter, and at that point you can try walk them around a little bit because they're so happy to not be tied up that often they'll just walk and follow you. So we're going to do the Dorsets first. So we caught the next one, and again pedicure first, and then I'll hand them the halter and we'll tie her up and we'll get the third one. Okay, so we got 3 of the Dorsets done. The Suffolks are a little more wild, which is unusual. Usually it's the other way around. But he's got the first Suffolk. It looks like they've already been trimmed. We're getting old, so we can't remember what we've already done.
You're getting old, then, not me.
Not you. That's just me. Now we only got 2 more to do. We got 4 tied up here. Already the Dorsets are behaving really nicely. So like I said, the idea is that they don't like being tied up and not being able to move, so that eventually when you take them and they are actually able to move around with the halter on, they like that better. And the theory is that they'll be more negotiable to walking with you. But it's like training a puppy. Some puppies you'll put a leash on them and they'll roll and scream and kick, and for the longest time they're not getting hurt, but they just don't like the feeling of it. They don't like being restricted, and it's scary. Same with sheep. Some will roll and do the exact same thing, and some will not miss a beat. Ready for the halter?
Yep.
Okay, last one. And Arnie's gonna attest to the fact that the Suffolks, although they look similar size, the weight is much heavier on the Suffolks.
Twice as heavy. Terminal breed.
They're all muscle, so they're very heavy.
I can't see
Okay,
them going
that's all for training sheep. Just kidding. This is step 1. Tie them up. They're actually behaving really, really well. A lot of times they'll really struggle. But it's hot, so I'm thinking the heat is making them lose their ambition to struggle. Okay, so one by one, Arnie has decided he's going to take them out and not have them do it in there. And this, you see, they don't want to do this. And there goes the rolling that we talked about.
Oh, I looked at the grass for a second. No, it's not your cousin.
Katie?
Wait, I want.
Too bad I didn't have the camera on when he brought that one over. We could have named her Lightning. She came out of the pen like a rocket. The first one had a harder time because she was alone. Sheep don't want to be alone. Okay. Rocket 2. This is why you want to get them on the halter a little bit before the show, because a lot of people do have these bucking broncos at the show, but you don't want that because obviously a judge can't judge the sheep at all if it's doing that, because they crunch up, they stand funny, they don't stand still. So you want them quiet. And this group is going to be a get of sire group. So a get of sire is 3 sired by the same ram. You can have any sex represented. We're going to be using 3 ewe lambs, and they're all sired by Hamish. And as you can see, they are pretty identical, and that's what you want for get of sire, because they want to see that your sire has produced a consistent type of lamb, because the goal for sheep breeding is consistency. Because in a market, when you're sending lambs to market, buyers don't want to be sorting through skinny ones, fat ones, tall ones, thin ones. They want them all the same. And look at this is the viewing gallery. Now, I've told these guys that they're not to put up their little cards with the numbers on, because that's degrading to women. No scoring of the ewes, you guys. Max, stay back. Oh, quite the peanut gallery over there. You don't think they'll pull that board off, eh? Matt, Ben, stay back. Now, with the Suffolk ewe lambs, they are not going to be a get of sire, because we have 2 gladiators, and the 2 gladiator ewes are going to go with Kodiak, number 3, our gladiator ram, and they will make up the get of sire class. They will be all lambs sired by gladiator. Here we go. These are the girls. We're doing the girls first, because not a single one of these girls is tame. The rams, we can handle them pretty well already. They're not halter trained or anything, but they're not wild. So I think we got a nice little group here. I'm quite happy with our ewe lambs. We are having disputes over the ram lambs still, but I think we're in agreement pretty well with the ewe lambs. So when the lambs are tied up like this, you really can't walk away. Just in case somebody jumps up, gets their foot up in the fence, you tie them as tight as you can so they really don't have any mobility. But it's something you don't want to risk because they could hang themselves, they could get their leg caught and break it. So they're being really good. The more there are of them, the better they are, because there is security in numbers with sheep. So like the first one, she was in a panic because she didn't know why she was being taken away from everyone else. And the others came out much faster because there is already one here. So that's why we do it this way. And we're probably going to leave them here for about an hour. And by that time they should have calmed down, gotten a little used to it, realized no harm has come to them by being tied up. And hopefully they'll say being with us is great because they get to walk around now and they'll walk with us. So he brought Kodiak out to see if he matches with these two ewes, because I always kept saying that he was short and stubby and they're nice and tall, so we'll see what they look like together. Right now he's getting his hoofs trimmed because his back hooves really needed trimming, so that'll help him walk a little better. Okay, so this will be the gladiator get of sire. It'll be Kodiak and the ewe beside him, and then the Suffolk ewe on the other side over here. Okay, these guys have been out here for about an hour now. So all of them, you can see I got little pieces of wool on the ground here. From shearing with the shearer, there was uneven wool all over their tails. So their tails are all nicely cleaned up. And the Dorsets, I pulled the raggeties off their legs, most of them. And this leg here, I just started to clean that one and get the dirt off it, just to get her used to me handling her. But we're going to be bringing them in. So before we bring them in, we'll walk each of them around the yard so that they get used to it. Arnie brought Kodiak back. He calmed down after a while, and now he's got Killer out here. Arnie's going to be showing Killer, because that's number 2, his favorite. People were saying that they can't wait to see the ribbons we come home with. I wouldn't count on too many ribbons. We are breeding more the meat quality commercial type rams, because that's what our market is. We still have really nice sheep, but they're not really the show style that win the shows, although we have done really well in the past. So, I mean, if we're real lucky, we will come home with some ribbons. But it's more advertising to the people that come to the fairs who might be looking for rams to improve their muscling. That's what we have to offer, and I think that's what we excel at. Big-bodied sheep. So that's our main goal at the fairs. One of the problems with fast-growing sheep like Suffolks is that they gain so much weight that the weight will push down on their pasterns. And this guy, number 2, you know how big he was as a lamb. His growth has slowed down a lot now, but that initial fast growth spurt pushes their front pasterns down. So he is definitely weak on his pasterns, front ones. He's good everywhere else, but in a show ring they will probably pick it out. If we're lucky, the judge will look more at his body conformation and his style. It depends on the judge, but we know that that's his weakness. But for commercial breeders and for anyone wanting to add muscle, that's what they'll be looking at. They'll be looking at those qualities, because you always want to pick for what your flock is missing or what you want to improve on your lambs. And most sheep breeders will say they want to improve muscling, body capacity. So
Has it got the right head?
Killer's got it. He's got a nice head.
Killer.
I still think my sheep Kryptonite, when he comes out, will beat him, but we'll see. We'll see.
That's right, you will beat them. I can't say with the hand because they haven't got the respect for the horse. Once they respect the horse.
Was their go for today. We're gonna go bring all the others now. 2 at a time. We'll take them around the yard like that, and that will be day 1 of training. There we go. Look at how nice you are. She's really nice. No. Max, get out. There. Gladiator's lambs. She doesn't have quite the same disposition as Gladiator. But to be honest, Gladiator in the show ring was a nightmare. Hi. Hi. There we go. Yeah, see? See how nice you are? You look lovely now. See? Good girl. Good girl. You can go in now. Come on. A little rougher. These are basically wild animals, so it takes a while. Max? Hi.
Back one.
Hi.
Sit down.
Sit there. in the ram pan. We had Killer on a halter tied up for a while, but Kryptonite's never had a halter on him. He likes to be handled, which is a good thing, but he doesn't want to walk with a halter on right now. That's my guy.
Just understand the whole. Once he understands that, he'll be actually fine. He doesn't understand what I'm doing. But he'll be used to it. We'll just tie him up for a minute. Right, show people your spread. You just love it, don't you, Barbie?
Where is there only one halter here? Where's the other one?
Right there. He doesn't know what's going on. Watch your face, baby. Can we help you? Put his ear in. That's the Walton guy?
Yeah. His name is Cash.
Well, I'm going to guess that that guy, the back legs, you'll cut him up a roll. The legs are perfect for that one. I would knock both of these to the correct legs. That one's not the best leg.
So Kryptonite, he's not used to having a halter on. He loves to be positioned. Show him how he likes to be posed. He likes to be handled and posed, have your hands on him, but he doesn't understand the halter and walking. There, you just put a little pressure on the front and he'll step back. And that's how you set him up. We have these guys are all pets, so they have no problem standing and being handled. But they have no idea about walking with us and having a halter on, so that's what we've got to train these guys. But these guys will be a lot easier to train than the ewes. The ewes are going to be a living nightmare.
Got a good head?
He's got a beautiful head. I think he looks better than his dad. And I've got a fill-in here. Show him the fill-in one, just in case we decide to pull somebody, he doesn't do well, or somebody gets sick. It's always nice to have a standby. And it's another handsome one that I just kind of discovered. I've been making friends with him. He's a month younger. He's a triplet, and he's an RR. He's also from Handsome. He's not as used to being handled as the others, but I think he's a gorgeous ram. There, he's standing perfect right now. Right now, perfect. You're lovely.
So he's an RR?
Yeah, and a triplet.
And he's a month younger, maybe?
He is a month younger than the others. He's a February lamb, the others are January.
Good head?
Great head. Wide muzzle. Oh, you're so handsome. And your dad is handsome, isn't he? Okay. We haven't had a halter on this guy. This is Klondike. Arnie's going to be showing Klondike because Klondike, for a Dorset, is extremely heavy and extremely wild. And I'm going to be showing Cash, which is this guy here. Cash is also a month younger than Klondike. All of our Dorsets are RRs. We've never yet had a test come back anything but RR on our Dorsets. He's actually gotten friendlier, but he's just such a big guy. And you see, this guy has a really straight back, but because he's nervous, he hunches up like that. So that's why you want to train them, because a hunchy back looks really bad in the show ring. But when they relax, you see his back right now, and now he's spreading his legs because he doesn't. He's gonna be a challenge. We started this way too late. And it's boiling hot, like we're covered in sweat. And you see Killer behind Arnie. He wants to be in the show ring. And he's just like his dad, not Geronimo. Felon and Geronimo are related to him, and they all like showing. But again, that's a really wide-topped ram. We're a little hot from attempting to train our show sheep. So we're gonna go in now. But first we'll stop and look at our little ewe lamb, who's found her spot under the feeder. They all love that spot. And I hope you guys will join us again tomorrow as we try again to work with our show sheep and get them ready in time, because normally people take several months usually working with their sheep, and like I say, we are really down to the crunch. We'll be showing next week. Could be a dog and pony show or a ewe and ram show. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.